Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. One of the most asked questions on Instagram is the difference between a limited driver and PAYE, and how do I become a limited driver? If you're not following me on Instagram, knock that in straight away. It's at DD2012. It's the same as my YouTube channel. Go and add me. You can see where I'm going, what I'm pulling, what I'm carrying, what I'm doing, etc, etc, etc. A little piece of my life. I do upload stories quite a bit as well. Anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you how to become a limited driver, what you have to do, how much it costs, getting your first job as a limited driver, and then we'll talk about, in my opinion, the pros and cons of PAYE versus limited, the wages on average, how much limited drivers earn and how much PAYE drivers earn for the same kind of work, and that's about it. We'll knock on IR35, but I'll just be brushing over the top of it because it's a wormhole that I'll never get myself out of. So how to become a limited driver? It's very, very simple. All you have to do is go on Companies House, or type in Google Companies House. It is a .gov.uk website. You go on there and you click want to become a director of my own company, or becoming a director, something to that extent. Click on that, type in a business name. You can have it whatever you want, whatever you want your business to be called. Freezing my tits off, limited, whatever. I've got a massive load, limited, whatever you want. It's entirely up to you. You crack on, name it anything. And then you pay on 35 quid. I recorded this a minute ago and I didn't like it, so I've started it again. And I can't say this word. I can't remember how you say it. Yes, I'm 33 and I claim to be slightly intelligent. When you've paid the 35 quid, you get a certificate of authentication. Is that how you say it? Is it authentication or is it authentication? Authentication. I can't say the word. I know authenticity, but do you get a certificate and you get an authentication code? I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say, what the word is that I'm trying to say. I can't say the word. It's just gone from my head. So you get a code and you get a certificate that says that you're now a limited company. From there, what you need to do, you need to get a business bank account. You can get business bank accounts on the internet, and it'd just be an app on your phone. And from there, you just draw money out via the app to your personal account. But I don't think you get a bank card with it. Now, with you not getting a bank card, it'll be a little bit more difficult to prove your expenses. It's a lot easier to prove your expenses if you've got a business bank card and you pay for your expenses, like your food when you're out, or your clothing, etc, etc, etc. It's a lot easier to prove that kind of thing if you pay straight out of your business bank account with your business card. I'm with NatWest for the first 18 months of trading. It's free, and then I think it's something like £1.75 per transaction, which means every time I transfer money from one account to another, it charges me £1.75 or something like that. So that's what I've chosen to do. And then lastly, the third thing you need to do is get an accountant. Now, I say need to get an accountant loosely. When I first went limited, nobody would take me on without an accountant. Nobody. No agencies would take me on unless I had a confirmed accountant. And every one of them wrote a letter to my accountant and said, are you supporting such and such a body? And, excuse me, they evidently obviously replied yes. Accountants' fees can be expensive, so you've got to look out for one that's going to do you a favour, that's going to do your books properly and not have you pay ridiculous amounts, but also one that doesn't charge you a ridiculous amount every month. You want someone that's going to do the job professionally. If you know someone in the family that's good at it and you trust them, then that'll be your best bet. Now, the pros and cons to PAYE versus LTD, limited. Let's go. The pros to PAYE, firstly, these are all my opinion. If you've got anything to add, chuck them in that comment section below. The first pro is you're tied down to a contract. You have a contract. You have a guaranteed job. Now, I understand through the pandemic at the moment, this might not be completely true because there's people getting rid of folk left, right and centre. There's people being made redundant and everything, which is just ridiculous because that completely takes away from the fact of being PAYE, the entire point of it. But you're, generally speaking, you're fixed down to a contract. You will get sick pay if you have days off sick. You'll get holiday pay. If you go on holidays, you'll get paid while you're sat on a sun lounger in 100-degree blazing sunshine on a beach with a margarita in your pair of Speedos with the S ripped off. Why do I come up with this crap? Oh, God. Shocking. You'll get all that as a PAYE employee. You'll also get provided with your uniform, you know, company stuff that some limited drivers don't get. They'll have to provide their own. I think that's pretty much it for PAYE. Oh, there's another thing actually. There's one more thing. No, that's not a pro, that's a con. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for PAYE. You've got the holiday pay, the sick pay. You get a pension that your employer also adds into. He chips into your pension, your private pension fund, and they keep on top of it for you. You don't have to constantly worry about it and whatnot like you do when you're limited. And you're fixed into a contract, so you're guaranteed work. If they've not got work for you, they still need to pay you unless they make you redundant. And if they make you redundant, then they give you a payout, don't they? The cons to being PAYE is the company can pay you whatever they want. They can pay you a crap rate of pay if they deem it necessary. Now, some companies will say things like, they won't tell you the hourly rate. What they'll say is, you have the ability, the opportunity to earn over £1,000 a week at this place, and you'll be like, wow, that is mega. I want that. Yes, shake my hand and give me a job. And then you turn up and the rate of pay is crap and they're expecting you to work 8 days a week, 25 hours a day to earn £1,000 a week, and you're like, well, I just can't do that. And if the stars align, maybe once a year you might earn £1,000 in a week, maybe around Christmas time or something like that, depending on the sector that you're working in. We're talking about drivers, so yeah. Another con is it's easy to be found. Now, this is where, you know, opinions are divided on PAYE Unlimited. This is why some drivers or some people don't like self-employed people and don't like limited people. It's easier to be found when you're PAYE. If you've got any lingering debts, if you have bailiffs after you, you know, stuff like that, they can find out through HMRC who you work for like that. So that's a con for PAYE. And that is pretty much it for the cons, I think. Again, like I say, like I've repeated, if there's anything extra, chuck it in down below and I'll get back to you. I will respond to the comment, as I always do. Now, let's brush on quickly because I've already been going for the camera's been on record for 10 minutes already and I don't want this video to be too long. We'll crack straight over to limited drivers. And this goes for being self-employed as well in other sectors like scaffolding and bricklaying, joinery, electricians, plumbers, etc, etc, etc. Whatever other career you could be self-employed or limited in. It goes for pretty much all of them, I think. The first pro is a higher rate of pay. You generally get a higher rate of pay. But the downside to that is no holiday pay, no sick pay, no pension. You've got to sort that out yourself. There are 3 cons that I've chucked in there out of order. So you do get a higher rate of pay, but the consequences for that are you don't get your sick pay, your holiday pay, and the pension that you pay into. Another pro is that you're not tied down to a contract. Some people like that, some people prefer that. If I want to leave tomorrow, I can do. I can just walk away and nothing more can be said or will be said. Bye. I'm not saying I would ever do that, but you know, if you're working on an agency, for example, if you don't like that kind of work, you just say I'm not doing it. And it might not lead you in good stead with the agency, but the option to do that is there. What else? You get all your expenses back. Any expenses that you pay for, you get that taken off your end of year profit, which is a good thing. I wouldn't say it's like getting things for free, but it comes off your profit margin at the end of the year. You pay less tax, that's a pro. Some people can dwindle the rates down very, very low, so they pay very little tax. This is the big thing that you hear about these bankers that pay themselves £1 a week and pay tax on that. They pay very, very little tax on massive amounts of earnings, put the money in offshore accounts and all that stuff, so it limits the amount that they actually have to pay, you know, the state, if that is the way to say it. Which is why IR35 is coming in, because there's too many people that are really taking the mick. Not just, you know, truck drivers and whatnot, they're on about big people. IR35 is coming in for everybody, and it's the big dogs that are, you know, skanking away hundreds of thousands of pounds of tax fraud. You've heard of Jimmy Carr and Jose Mourinho, just two of them that have been caught, you know, trying their best to blag about how much they're actually earning when they're earning millions. But yeah, that's a pro. You can keep it lower than 20%, which is what PAYE people pay. Plus, another pro, your national insurance, you pay it yearly, and I think it's £82 a year instead of £60 odd a week or whatever it is that PAYE people pay. That's a massive pro, that's a big saving. Another pro to being a limited driver, and this bit is a bit controversial, but I'm going to put it in there because it is factual, it is true. It's not as easy to be found, which is obviously an opposite to being PAYE. If there's people that have debts, or people that have child maintenance claims, detachments of earnings orders, stuff like that, becoming self-employed or limited is a way to not evade it as such, because it'll always come back to bite you in the bottom, but it is a way to restrict the amount of control that they have over you, kind of thing. And this is why a lot of people, especially in the construction industry, go into being self-employed or limited, because certain companies can't chase you, can't really do much when you're self-employed and own your own business. Because just let's say, for argument's sake, about me, WS, they don't employ me as DD, they employ my company. So if somebody phoned up wanting to know where I worked, and they said, does DD work for you? They say, we can't give you that information, or no. They can't say yes, because I don't work for WS. My company is contracted to WS, and then my company itself, my company employs a driver to do the work. It just so happens that that driver is me. And again, this is another reason why they want to get on top of it with IR35, because there is a bit of Tom Huffery about, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest, there's a bit of Tom Huffery going on. But that's another pro. It can keep you at arm's length from people that are chasing you for money for different things. And again, whether you like it or not, it's there. That's what people do. They're trying to get on top of it with IR35, so that's all I can say about that. Gotta have a drink of water. Need some water. So the cons of being limited. Let's go into the cons. Very simple, quick ones. No pension unless you do your own privately. No sick pay, no holiday pay if you want to take an holiday, or if you get ill, you're stuffed. You know, you're up creek without a paddle kind of thing. Unfortunate, but that's just a risk that you take. Is there any other cons? You can be toughed out on your ear if you do anything wrong. If you cock up, they'll kick you out. You're gone. See you. You don't need any excuses. They can just say, bye, we don't need you anymore, see you later. Now obviously, if you're a good worker, you're a hard grafter, then it don't matter whether you're PAYE or limited, they'll keep you on. No matter what job you do, in any line of work, they will keep you on if you're a good hard worker. But you mess about and they don't have to give you any warning. They can just say, see you, don't come back, see you later. Another con, I suppose, is the expense that you have to fork out. You know, insurance, accountants, pay for everything yourself. And I can't really think of any more, to be fair, because I've been, like I say, I've been self-employed for about 7 years now, all in all. I've been self-employed and limited. I've not been limited for 7 years, but I have been self-employed for a long time. And I do enjoy it, I do prefer it. And I wouldn't say that I earn, let's just get to the bottom of that now, brushing on to the next topic. I wouldn't say that I actually earn more than, based out over the period of 52 weeks in a year, I probably don't earn very much more than anybody else. Maybe a smidgen, but we're not talking thousands. Not like when I was self-employed and I used to get a self-assessment tax return at the end of every year, and I used to get like £2,600 put into my bank account so I could pay for an holiday every year. I don't get that. What I have to pay out at the end of the year, I have to actually pay money out. So I wouldn't say that I'm on a fortune more. Let's say, for argument's sake, now we'll get into wages. The average 5-day tramper's wage that's PAYE will be somewhere between 700 and 750 quid a week for a tramper, average-ish. That's for maybe, say, 3 15s and 2 13s, or 3 15s and a 10 on a Friday to run in. Let's say you... Right, I forgot where I was up to. I was on the phone to my boss. I'm tramping next week. I'm going out all week again. Whoop whoop! Monday to Friday. So, and I'm doing it in 589. Anyway, I think I was talking about wages. Now, the average wage for a PAYE for Monday to Friday, 3 15-hour shifts, a 13-hour shift and a 10 running in on Friday, is probably somewhere between £700 and £750 a week. Now, for a limited driver, the same hours, the exact same shift, the exact same work, everything the same, he's probably going to be taking home round about £900 in that week-ish. Forget it, I'll say it. I did 5 days last week. I did 3 15s, a 13, and I run in on a Friday. I did 10 hours, and I got paid 973 quid. There you go. Now, you're always asking me how much I got paid. I can't keep my mouth shut. I should learn to. I got 973 quid for it. That was for 4 nights out, 5 days work. There you go. Now, I don't get paid holiday pay. So if someone has 5 weeks off and they have 2 weeks off sick in a year, then you've got 7 weeks there of £700 per week. So 7 times 7, 49, 40, nearly 5 grand. Nearly 5 grand if you have 7 weeks off in a year. Now I've got to earn 5 grand plus not having any holidays extra than you. Plus I've got to pay for my accountant. Plus I've got to pay for all my own stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? It may seem like a lot more money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that much more money. For the job security and the benefits and stuff like that of being PAYE, it isn't really, it's not massive amounts. It's not enough to make you go, wow, I want to be limited right now. If you're going to be limited, I would say either you've got some money saved up, you've got some savings, so you can be flexible, you can have time off when you want to, you can do, 3 days a week and be happy and live your life as such, or you need to be a complete and utter workaholic. You need to work 5, 6, depending on the nature of your job, 7 days a week. If you're working 5, 6, 7 days a week, like when I was scaffolding, it was very unoften. Is that the right word? It was very unoften, yeah. But some firms would let me work 7 days a week, and I used to be a workaholic. And I'd start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, finish at 7 or 8 o'clock at night scaffolding. Them times I could earn £1,200, £1,300, £1,400 a week. Very rare, but them opportunities did come up every so often. If you're going to be limited and you've not got loads of money to saved up, and you only want to work the odd shift here, there and everywhere, I really wouldn't bother. It ain't worth it. That's my personal opinion. Now, I said I'm going to go over IR30. I don't want this video to be too long, I do apologise. IR35 is basically coming in to stop people that are limited or self-employed and taking the position of an employee. So, for argument's sake, let's put me and my dad, Paul, Wittering trucker, side by side. We do the exact same job. We wear the exact same uniform. Pretty much. I know you're going to be like, hey, you wear your dad's tops. No, but we wear the same uniform, we drive the same trucks, we pull the same stuff. Oh, God. Terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. But you get me drift. Now, I get £200 a week more than he does. Now, a lot of people will be like, that's not fair. So, IR35 is coming in to even this out. So that if I come in and if my dad's off for a week and I need to take his place and work, I'm coming in and I'm earning his wage. I'm not earning £200 a week extra for doing the exact same job. Basically, in a nutshell, that's what IR35 is. It's making sure that people that are being paid more but paying less tax are paying the right amount of tax. So basically they're paying 20% or 40% if they're earning over 50 grand a year in profit. That's basically, in a nutshell, what IR35 is. There might be people now that want to put in the comments, IR35 is going to screw you right over, it's going to put you right in your place. Yes, obviously. Do you not think I don't know that? When IR35 comes in, I'm just going to go PAYE and just crack on as per normal. Because I love this job, I enjoy doing it, it's what I want to keep doing. So I'm just going to take it on the chin. But while the opportunity to be limited is still here, I will keep on being limited. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, I just like, even though I'm not my own boss, I have got bosses, I do reply to people, I do respond to people. My boss just phoned me. I do like the thought of just being limited. I don't know why, I like the thought of it. And I do like the thought of being on £12.50 an hour. I do like that. So, that's it from me. That is it. I hope you've kind of enjoyed the video. It has gone on way longer than I expected. I was trying to get this video in 10 minutes and it ain't done that. It's gone well long. So I do apologise. I know it's been a long one, but I hope if you've come for answers, I hope you've got the answers that you wanted. That was the point in this. So thousands of people can stop asking me on Instagram at DD2012. I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed the information, click that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you will. It does actually help massively. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. And I'm going to let Mark Thompson past me. Bye bye. Hello, ladies. No, I'm not doing that. Hello. Nope, not doing it. Get out of doing that, lad. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? I hope you are all okay. I hope you're all staying safe and well. There's some guy waving at me while I'm recording. What's all that about? How weird's that? Some guy in a black, rigid Mercedes. Hi, whoever that were, just waving and pointing at me now. That was weird. That was a sick intro.